Ag AM in Kansas, brought to you in part by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Welcome back to Farm Factor. Let's join Kyle and Randy Blach again as they look to the future of the livestock marketplace.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer, continuing to visit with Randy Blach. Randy is the CEO of CattleFax. Randy, in the prior segment, we talked about kind of what has happened in the year prior, the years prior, as we've come through 2015, which in the cattle market has been really tough for the feeder people, or for the people feeding cattle. What do we look at coming into this next year?
Well, I think as you step back and you look at the macro landscape, one of the big changes that we've seen over the last 18 months has been the strength in the dollar. So the dollar has been strong. It's been strong against other currencies. So the purchasing power of other countries around the world for their ability to be able to purchase U.S. beef, pork, or poultry has been diminished. When we look at 2016, you look at interest rates increasing, you look at the slowdown in economies around the world compared to the U.S. The U.S. is still the best game in town, isn't it? So that tells you that the dollar is likely to stay firm all the way through 2016. I don't think we should expect a lot of weakness in the dollar, which would just say to you that while exports can improve, we wouldn't expect them to be outstanding. You know, we're anticipating a 4 to 5% increase in beef, pork, and poultry exports in 2016, which will be a big help. And this year was the big increase in production. So pork production was up 8% in 2015. It'll be up 1 to 2% in 2016. Poultry production was up 5% in 2015. We're anticipating it'll be up 1 to 1.5% in 2016. When we look at beef production or beef supplies were basically flat in 2015. They'll be up between 4 and 5%. So still record large total meat supplies in the U.S., but better export picture than what we've had in 2015.
Now, looking longer out there, though, we came through a time in agriculture when we were exporting 20 to 30% of almost every commodity that we had, and that was great for our pricing. But as the dollar has strengthened, and as you mentioned, the dollar will probably stay strong, can we look at probably exports not being strong for the next few years?
Well, I think when you go through the adjustment, it's not just the currency. We have to remember that those wholesale prices are changing underneath the structure of the dollar. So what I mean by that is, think about the hog market 1 year ago. The hog market a year ago was 50 to 60% higher than it is today. So if we go back to July of 2014, we were selling hogs at 120 to 130. Now they've had a 60% correction in price. A number of our poultry items are off 40 to 50% compared to their highs of 2 years ago. Beef items would have cuts that would be 30 to 35% cheaper. So even though the dollar has appreciated 15%, those wholesale values are offsetting some of that appreciation in the dollar. So we'll get some better traction in those global marketplaces. But we all have to remember one basic thing. When prices go to record high levels, why are they doing that? They're rationing a very small supply. There wasn't enough supply when we came through the perfect storm in 2014 of beef, pork, or poultry. Now we've got very adequate, abundant supplies in here when we go through the slowdown in the global markets. So that's part of the transition and that we go through when we actually get into these global trades.
We're visiting with Randy Blach. This is Kyle Bauer reporting. Back to you, Jamie.
Thanks, Kyle. We'll have more from the KLA meeting a little later in the show, but stay tuned for the Kansas soybean update. That's coming up next.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.